The Atharvaveda, hymn 8, 9, 26 verses. Whence were these two produced? Which was that region? From what world? From which earth had they their being? Calves of Viraj. These two arose from water. I ask thee of these twain, who was their milker? He who prepared a threefold home, and lying there made the water below through his greatness. Calf of Viraj, giving each wish fulfillment, made bodies for himself, far off in secret, which are the three, the mighty three, whereof the fourth divides the voice. This made the Brahman know by prayer and fervor, whereto belonged the one, whereto the other. Out of the Brihat as the sixth, 5 salmons have been fashioned forth. From Brihati was Brihat formed. Whence was the Brihati composed? On measure, Brihati is based, and measure on the measure. From magic might came magic might. From magic might came Matali. The Isvanar's image is the sky above us. So far as Agni forced both spears asunder. Thence, from that region, as the sixth, come praise songs, and every sixth day, hence, again, go upward. We, Kasyapa, 6 present rishis, ask thee, for thou hast proved things, tried and meet for trial. They call Viraj the father of devotion. Tell her to us, thy friends, in all her figures. She whom, advancing, sacrifices, follow, and, when she takes her station, stand beside her. By whose control and hest the spirit moveth. She is Viraj, in highest heaven, O Rishis. Breathless, she moves by breath of living creatures. Swaraj precedes. Viraj comes closely after. Some men behold her not, and some behold her. Viraj, meat-shaped, who thinks of all existence, who hath perceived Viraj's duplication, perceived her seasons and her rule and practice, who knows her steps, how oft, how far extended, who knows her home and number of her dawnings. She here, who first of all sent forth her luster, moves onward, resting on these lower creatures. Exalted power and might are stored within her. The woman hath prevailed, the newcomer mother. Both dawns on wings of song, with rich adornment, move on together to their common dwelling. Surya's 2 wives, unwasting, most prolific, knowing their way, move, rich in light together. The 3 have passed along the path of order. 3 warm libations have regarded offspring. 1 quickens progeny, 1 strengthens vigor, 1 protects the kingdom of the pious. She who was fourth made by Agni, Soma, and Rishis, as they formed both halves of worship. Gayatri, Trishtub, Jagati, Anushtub, Brihadarki, lightning the sacrificer. 5 milkings answer to the 5-fold dawning. 5 seasons to the cow, who bears 5 titles. The 5 sky regions made 15 in number. 1 head have these to 1 sole world directed. 6 elements arose. Firstborn of order, the 6-day time is carried by 6 samans. 6 yoked the plough is, as each trace is numbered. They call both broad ones 6, 6 earth and heaven. They call the cold month 6, and 6 the hot ones, which tell us of the seasons is redundant. 7 sages eagles have sat down together. 7 meters match the 7 consecrations. 7 are the homas, 7 the logs match the 7 consecrations. 7 are the homas, 7 the logs for burning. 7 are the streams of mead, and 7 the seasons. Into the world have come 7 streams of butter. Those we have heard of as the world have come 7 streams of butter. Those we have heard of as the 7 vultures. 7 meters by 4 syllables, increasing each of the 7 founded upon another. How are the hymns of praise on these supported, and how are these imposed upon the praise songs? How hath the Gayatri filled out the 3 triads? On the 15, how is the Trishtubh molded? Jagati fashioned on the 3 and 30. How is Anushtubh formed? How Akavimtha 8 elements sprang up. Firstborn of order, the priest divine, are 8 in number. Indra 8 are the wombs of Aditya. 8 her children. For the 8th night is the libation destined. So planning bliss for you have I come hither to win your friendship. Kind am I and gracious. Born from one source perpetuous is your wisdom, knowing full well to all of you it cometh. To Indra 8, to Yama 6, 7 to the Rishis, 7 to each. The number 5 accompanies waters and men and healing herbs. The heifer, all his own, poured forth. For Indra, control and milk at a first time of milking, and he then satisfied the 4 divisions, the gods and men and asuras and rishis. Who is the cow? Who is the single risha? What is the law? What are the benedictions? What on earth is the one only spirit? Which of the number is the single season? One is the cow, one is the single spirit, one is the law, single are the benedictions. The spirit dwelling on earth is single. The single season never is transcended. And we think of some of this mention of spiritual beings being upon things like their ride or a throne or whatever, kind of makes clear that the things of this material plane, or the things incarnate in this material plane, are not the beings of the spiritual world that we are referring to. They're not the devas, definitely. Perhaps we're even saying that they're not even our own soul, or soul uses these things as vehicles. But when we're talking about what's worshipped, whether it deserves to be or not, that kind of, again, elevates it beyond a station of us, which sit on thrones to relax. Hymn 810 is 33 verses. Vivraj at first was this: at birth all feared her. The thought, she will become this all, struck terror. She rose the Garhapatya fire. She entered. He who knows this becomes lord of a household, performer of domestic sacrifices. She mounted up the eastward fire. She entered. He who knows this becomes the god's beloved, and to his call they come when she invokes them. She mounted up the southward fire. She entered. He who knows this becomes a fit performer of sacrifice, meet for honor, shelter giver. She mounted up. She entered the assembly. He who knows this becomes polite and courtly, and people come as guest to his assembly. She mounted up, she passed within the meeting. He who knows this becomes fit for the meeting, and to his hall of meeting come the people. She mounted up, she entered consultation. Whoso knows this is fit to be consulted, and to his consultation come the people. She mounted up, and into 4 divided she took her station in the air's mid-region. Of her the gods, light beings, and men said, This she knoweth, that we may both have life, let us invoke her. Thus they did cry to her, Come strength, come food, come charmer, come free giver. Her calf, her well-beloved calf, was Indra. Gayatri was her rope, the cloud her udder. 2 teats she had, Ratantara and Brahat 2, Yajna, Yajniya, and Vamadevya. With the Ratantara, the gods, unfallen angels, milked from her the plants, and all the wide expanse with Brahat. They drew the waters forth with Vamadevya. With Yajniya, they poured and they milked out worship. For him who knoweth this, Ratantara poureth out plants, and Brahat yieldeth wide expansion. Waters from Vamadevya come, from Yajniya sacrifice. She rose, she came into the trees. They killed her. A year went by, and she again existed. Hence, in a year, the wounds of trees heal over. He who knows this sees his loathed rival wounded. She mounted up, she came unto the fathers. They killed her in a month. She re-existed. Hence, men give monthly offerings to the fathers. Who knows this, knows the path which they have trodden. She rose, she came unto the gods, unfallen angels. They killed her, but in a fortnight she again was living. Fortnightly, hence, men serve the gods with Vashat. Who knows this, knows the way, which gods, shining ones, pass over. She mounted up, she came to the men. They killed her. Presently, she regained her life and being. Hence on both days to men they bring an offer. Who knows this? Near seated in the dwelling. She rose, approached the Asuras. They called her. Their cry was, Come, O Maya, come thou hither. Her dear calf was Virochana Prahrati. Her milking vessel was a pan of iron. Dive Murda. Artya milked her. Yea, this Maya. The Asuras depend for life on Maya. He who knows this becomes a fit supporter. She mounted up. She came unto the fathers. The fathers called to her, O food, come hither. King Yama was her calf. Her pail was silvern. Antaka, Metru's son, milked her. This Svada. In this food, the fathers make their lives sustainer. He who knows this becomes a meat supporter. She mounted up. She came to men. They called her, Come unto us. Come hither, thou free giver. Earth was her milking pail. The calf beside her, Manu Va'iv Asvata, Vivasvat's offspring. Prete, the son of Vena, was her milker. He milked forth husbandry and grain for sowing. These men depend for life on grain and tillage. He who knows this becomes a meat supporter, successful in the culture of his grainland. She rose, she came unto the 7 rishis. They called her, Come, rich in devotion hither. King Soma was her calf, the moon her milk pail, Brahaspata Angarasa her milker, drew from her udder the prayer and holy fervor. Fervor and prayer maintain the 7 rishis. He who knows this becomes a meet supporter, a priest illustrious for his sacred knowledge. She rose, she came unto the gods. They called her, crying, O vigor, come to us, come hither. God Sevatar milked her. He milked forth vigor. The gods depend for life upon that vigor. He who knows this becomes a meet supporter. She rose, approached the Apsarasas and Gandharvas. They called her, come to us, O fragrant scented. The son of Surya Varchas. Chitraratha was her dear calf, her pale a lotus petal. The son of Surya Varchas. Vasoroche milked and drew from her the most delightful fragrance. That scent supports Apsarasas and Gandharvas. He who knows this becomes a meet supporter, and round him ever breathes delicious odor. She mounted up, she came to other people. They called her, crying, come, concealment, hither. Her dear calf was the Isvanara Kubera, a vessel never tempered, was her milk pail. Raja Tanape, offspring of Kubera, milked her, and from her udder drew concealment. By that concealment live the other people. He who knows this becomes a meet supporter, and makes all evil disappear and vanish. She mounted up, she came unto the serpents. The serpents called her, venomous, come hither. Her calf was Takshaka, Asela's offspring. A bottle gourd supplied a milking vessel. Eravat's offspring, Tara Chitra, milked her, and from her udder drew forth only poison. That poison quickens and supports the serpents. He who knows this becomes a meet supporter, one who would ward off for him who hath this knowledge. If with a bottle gourd he sprinkled water, and did he not repel? If in his spirit he said, I drive thee back, I would repel it. The poison that it drives away, that poison verily repels. The man who hath this knowledge pours its venom on his hated foe. Now it's important that your world, per se, is a world of action that you make upon your knowledge. And when we say meet form and meet this, and we're talking about meet as in well, sufficient, M-E-E-T,